Hey guys, Fawad here from beattweaks.com. In this video, I want to show you a different approach to using EQ. And this isn't going to be like one of those magic EQ moves that's going to transform your track. Alright, so what I'm going to show you is it's a different approach to using EQ. It's a little bit different from what you're used to and what you're taught. And it's really helped me improve my own EQing, and it's really improved the quality of the tracks that I mix and master, and it's really going to improve yours. So traditionally, a lot of times, a lot of videos you watch or a lot of people you learn from will tell you if you want to find problem areas using EQ that you would use a narrow band, boost, and then look for the problem frequencies. Now here's the issue with that. There's a few issues with that. Number one, doing this might destroy your speakers, your headphones, and your ears. So if you are going to do this, make sure you turn the volume down first. So use the gain on your EQ and turn it down, or put a limiter after it and make sure that you also turn that down. So that's the first part of doing this. The second problem with doing things this way is that when you do this, your ears quickly adjust to that frequency that you're boosting that much, like by 10 or 12 dB. Your ears quickly adjust to that frequency and you start to lose focus of the bigger picture, right? This is especially true when you're mastering. So what I'm going to demonstrate here for you is a mastering example, right? So I have this EQ on the master channel of this project, all right? So that's another big problem, is that when you do this, your ears adjust to this frequency and then you start to kind of phase the other frequencies out and you lose focus. All right. So what's the better way to do this? Well, the better way to do this would be to, instead of sweep around with a boost, is you sweep around with a cut. And this kind of goes back to the concept that you should be cutting more than boosting. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Cut, don't boost. Why is this true? Well, the biggest reason it's true is that when you're cutting bad frequencies out, you're reducing noise in your track. You're reducing unwanted things, garbage that shouldn't be there in your track. But when you boost, you're adding noise to your track. You're adding extra volume. You're adding extra frequencies and harmonics in your track. And the problem with that is that if you boost something up here, but you have a problem down here, that problem is still there. Like if your track is muddy or not bright enough and you boost to make it brighter, the muddy frequencies are still there, right? You're just covering them up with a boost. That's why it's much better to cut instead of boost. All right, so let's use this track that I've been mixing and mastering as an example of this and how you can use this much better, much more ear-friendly method of EQing. All right, and this is going to clean up your tracks significantly. It'll teach you to get rid of bad frequencies instead of just boosting other ones to cover things up. So it's a really great way to EQ things. All right, so let's take a listen to what's going on in this section of the track.
You got me mesmerized.
Cool stuff going on in that track, and it definitely needs some EQing. There's a few imbalances, and first, before you even start messing around with an EQ, just listen, you know what I mean? Just listen to it. Is it enjoyable? Does it sound good? Is there anything jumping out at you, like certain frequencies that are jumping out at you that hurt your ear or annoy you in any way? Then, go to the EQ. All right, so let's do this sweeping around method. And basically what you're looking for here is that when you do this, and let's say you're sweeping around and you get to a point where when you cut that frequency, the entire track sounds so much better, that means you have a problem there, right? And then you should be cutting that frequency out by a certain amount. If you're sweeping and all of a sudden the track sounds much clearer, much fatter, much brighter the way you want it, or it just sounds better in any kind of way, that means there is a problem there. and you should cut some of that frequency out. All right, so let's do this. There's that kind of honky frequency thing going on there, all right, when I cut out, it kind of made the track sound a little bit fatter and a little bit more balanced. So when you find a frequency like that, start with kind of a wide Q. Don't do a very narrow Q. That's kind of useless. So do like a, like a 1.4 or a 2 Q, and then you can adjust it from there. Controls those honky frequencies in the vocal just a little bit, and the synths as well. And then you can just keep doing the same thing until you clean up your track as much as you need to. And this applies to any instrument, a kick drum, a bass, a synth, a piano. You can do this with any instrument or any track. And then when you're done with this, if you feel like you need to boost something, then you can do some boosting after that. All right, but let's continue cleaning this master up. This kind of just controls the frequencies of the mix. It balances things out. And, if you want to, what you can do is, if you want to confirm that frequency is a problem, you can kind of boost it just a little bit. And if it really jumps out at you in a bad way, then you know you've done something right. Going to allow you to do is to boost the overall volume, right? Because you're turning things down. That means you saved yourself some headroom. So if you're going for loudness in the end, this would be the perfect way to do it. So I can increase the gain by whatever, 1 or 2 dB, and that should volume match it. And you're going to hear that it's going to sound a lot better and a lot clearer at the same volume.
You got me mad.
Track actually got brighter even though we haven't boosted any of the top frequencies. All right, so I really want you to start using this approach to using EQ. I want you to start using it in your tracks, and I guarantee you your tracks will sound a lot cleaner, a lot punchier, a lot brighter. The bottom end will be much tighter, much fatter, much rounder. All those things that you are looking for in terms of your sound, I guarantee that using this approach will get you much closer to that.